Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. In just a moment, I am headed out the door to check out the new psychological thriller, The Surfer. The Surfer is directed by Lorcan Finnegan, and it's starring Nicolas Cage. It tells the story of a man who just wants to take his son surfing at this beach that was really important to him during his childhood. And wouldn't you know it, where I live, we would call these guys street toughs. But I guess they're called beach toughs. But anyways, he runs into some guys that are all local and stuff, and they're all like, "Oh, oi, this is all pot. You can't be coming in all beach trying to tell us what we can do and what we can't do." That's my best I can do with an Australian accent. I apologize. Put another shrimp on the ball bag. Anyways, this movie looks like it is going to be an unhinged, crazy Nick Cage psychological thriller, which I would say this film is going to have extreme gaslighting, because that's what they kind of do. He shows up at the beach and he's all like, "I just want to take my son surfing." And then all of a sudden they start telling him how he can't do this, and all he's like, "Come on guys, seriously, I just want to take my son surfing." And then he loses it and he becomes old Nick Cage and all. Needless to say, I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, and there is nothing I love more than when a director says, "Hey Nick, just do your thing, man." And that's what I'm expecting from this film. So it's enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get out the door because I need to go see The Surfer. Welcome back. Just getting home from The Surfer, and guys, this movie was awesome. I really enjoyed this film. This was a sun-baked, tension-filled masterpiece, in my opinion. So let's get this started, shall we? Normally I do negatives, positives, whatever, but honestly, I've got nothing but positive things to say about this film. Now, I will say that the movie is presented in a very dreamy, surrealistic fashion in parts of the film, so if you're somebody who doesn't like really bonkers, off-the-wall kind of cinematography for some moments, then you might not really enjoy that. If you like a movie that plays it very straight and really lets you know what's going on, because this movie does leave up some little ambiguous things about it. There are some stuff that's not necessarily fleshed out a whole lot, but it wasn't meant to be fleshed out a whole lot. There are moments that are really left up to you as the viewer to try to decide exactly what it is you're seeing take place on screen, and I really enjoyed that about the movie. But I can completely understand if some people are turned off by that. This movie is what some folks would consider a slow burn, which I honestly don't, because I do feel like this movie was filled with so much tension and dread building up to a really big ending that it didn't really seem any kind of slow, or the pacing of this film didn't really seem like it slowed down or anything like that. The movie does move along very quickly. It has about an hour 39-minute runtime, hour 40-minute runtime, and to be perfectly honest, guys, this movie just flew like butter. It was silky, silky smooth. But I could definitely see where some people would consider this a slow burn. But come on, guys, we do not need explosions and some kind of over-the-top slasher kill every 20 minutes or 10 minutes in a film. Sometimes it's nice to just watch an extremely well-acted, well-put-together film that doesn't have all of the bombastic special effects. Now, there were some really cool in-camera effects, which we will get to. But yes, this movie takes place in one location. It doesn't move around. Almost the entire film is in a parking lot, and sometimes you go down to the beach, but almost everything is in this one parking lot. And where I feel like some people might find themselves getting bored with just the one location because of the tension and just the way that the story presents itself and unravels before our eyes, it really keeps your attention, believe me. So let's just get into it, shall we? Now let's talk about that cinematography. It is absolutely gorgeous. This film goes through so many different techniques with the cinematography, it's not even funny. You have some amazingly well done, big open shots of the ocean. There's some drone shots, or at least a crane shot or something like that of the ocean that looks amazing. There's also in-camera effects that are used to really drive home the feeling that Nick Cage is just stuck in this oven baking vehicle or outside in this intense Australian heat, and the heat just keeps getting more. And they did so many really cool techniques with the camera. They used heat in order of, like, they put heaters and all underneath the camera lenses, so it gives that effect of, like, you know, like when you're sitting at a campfire and you're not looking through the flame, but you're looking above the flame, and everything has that wavy kind of look to it. This movie has that exact same look. They use different techniques in order to get that heat feeling across to you. Let me put it to you this way, okay? This movie is so bleached out and drowned in sunlight. At any given moment, I was expecting Leatherface to jump out because, you know, it had that Texas fried movie feeling to it. But this film takes place in Australia on the beach. I really loved the vibe, the sense, the feeling of this movie. I like the fact that the movie's 3 acts are very distinctly different. You go through this absolute journey with Nick Cage's character. At the beginning of the film, he comes off as this really put together, you know, kind of guy. He knows he has a mission. He has something in mind. He is going to buy this house from his childhood. He and his son are going to go surfing. He's on a very linear path. But then when he bumps into these guys and they tell him, no go, buddy, only locals allowed, his determination just becomes overwhelming to be able to go down on that beach, and just all of the gaslighting and things that happen to him on this journey that he goes through. One of the things that was really neat too is the sense of time in this film. It feels like it takes much longer than it actually does. The movie takes place over a few days, but it seems like Nick Cage's character is there for such a long time. The movie does this excellent job of shaking things up in the second act. So in the first act, Nick Cage is all together, very determined, straight line. And then in the second act, things start to kind of fall apart for Nick Cage's character, the surfer, and his reality starts to crumble. But what's really cool about things is not just Nicolas Cage's character, the surfer, his reality starts to kind of suffer. Your own reality starts to suffer. You start thinking that maybe all of these things are happening to Nicolas Cage, but maybe they're not. Maybe this is a weird misunderstanding. Maybe this guy has been on the beach for a very long time, and the movie starts putting all of these different thoughts into your head. All in all, guys, this is an extremely well-made, well-crafted thriller. And honestly, the acting in this movie is spot on. This is one of the best performances I have seen out of Nick Cage in a long, long time. And then the man always does a good performance, in my opinion. No matter how bad the script, no matter how bad the directing, whatever, Nick Cage will always show up and deliver a solid performance. But in this, we get the whole thing coming together. Great direction, great script, and great acting. Nicolas Cage got into this character and just made it his own. It was really cool. This is a definite get out there, see it up on the big screen, because this cinematography is gorgeous, and it really makes you feel like you're out in this parking lot with Nicolas Cage under the baking Australian sun. So if this sounds like something you want to see, guys, definitely get out to the theaters and see this movie, because it is just moving art up on the big screen. The film brings in homages and different types of influences of different time periods. There's definitely the 70s kind of exploitation type of vibe to the movie. I really enjoyed the opening sequence. The font that they used, the way that the whole thing came together was just an homage to like the 70s filmmaking. There's also some great, I keep going back on the cinematography, but there's also some really cool in-camera effects. I brought up the part with using heat, using heaters in order to give that effect of the heat waviness out there when he's in the parking lot. But they also use other in-camera effects during the third act of the film, where everything just goes surreal and bonkers and batshit. And yes, it does, again, really make you question your own sanity on exactly what is going on. So if you're in the mood this weekend, because this movie comes out, I guess you could say Thursday night, Friday, It's May. It's May now. Well, it will be May. It's April while I'm filming this, but it's May when this movie comes out. May 2nd, I believe. So Friday, May 2nd, this movie's coming out, and it is a definite see it on the screen, guys, because really take in that beautiful cinematography that's in this movie. Well, all right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.